Hi friends, welcome to my Cozy Haven. My name is Fiona. I'm really glad you've clicked on my video today. So I'm going to be chatting to you about the books I've read this week, my thoughts on them, and also kind of what I'm going to be reading this weekend and maybe what I'm planning to do this weekend. I really hope you're going to enjoy this video. So shall we get on with the books that I've actually finished this week? So I did finish The Princess of the Shalley School by Eleanor M. Brent Dyer. This is book 3 of the series, although there have been a number of fill-ins that have filled in the gaps in between, the books that she wrote. So in this we meet Princess Elisvita, or Vita for short. And when we meet her, she's a very lonely child who has had a very bad dose of bronchitis or a chest complaint of that kind. And she's not really making headway that would really be expected of her, shall we say. And her father is really worried about her. Her father's the Crown Prince of Belsornia. And he's really worried about her. And the doctor comes in to see her and insists that she gets up for, part of that day. And she's really not, okay, fine. She doesn't really want to. Because she knows that as soon as she makes headway, she's going to be back to governesses, lessons in the classroom on her own, and she doesn't want that. She has a dream of going to school. She wants to go to school. Fortunately for her, the good doctor knows about the Shalley School because one of his friends has just sent their daughter there. And he broaches this subject with the Crown Prince, who then broaches the subject with the king. No girl in the royal line has gone to school. It's always been governesses. But the king goes, right, okay, yeah, fine. If you want to send her, send her. So she ends up at the Shalley School. And it's what happens while she's there. There's a new matron who's really not nice. It's what happens with the new matron. There's her uncle who's got a screw loose. Is not happy with that he's being basically ousted from the royal family. Could he be trying to do things to her, if he can find her and things like that. So there's all of this in this story. It was a delightful read. I gave this 4.5 out of 5. I love this book. It's been so long since I've read it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was, to see her, this sort of child bloom under, the friendships and the escapades and just being a normal child was wonderful. It was just so fun to read. So I thoroughly enjoyed reading that one. The other one I read was So This Is Christmas. I read it on this. So This Is Christmas by Helen Rolfe, and I gave that one 4 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. I'll tell you what, there's one character in this book that is so nasty that docked a point off. She was a nasty character anyway, but I just felt that one of the things she did was, I'm like, oh, come on. Really? So that kind of docked at a point. So, story. We meet Sophie, and Sophie is working in a care home in the UK as a carer, and one of the ladies she looks after is Bee. And Bee was originally from Venice, and herself and her best friend Greta came over to the UK when they were, teenagers, early 20s. And they settled in the UK, in London, and then Greta met somebody and ended up going up to Yorkshire. And then they started corresponding with each other, so they wrote each other letters. And they've kept this going their entire life. And Bee gets the annual Christmas letter, and she and Sophie pen a response to it, and then unfortunately Bee passes away. And Sophie's like, she was supposed to deliver the letter, and she ends up being fired from her job. And because she accuses the manager of something. which manager's been accused of many times, okay? So the manager's been accused of pilfering things from residents. And B had this part of a jigsaw necklace with a bee on it and a stone, and Greta had the other half. Her friend comes to see her and discovers that B had actually given her the necklace for safekeeping, because I think B realised maybe her time was up. But she also left her money to go to Vienna, to see Greta. And she's like, I haven't delivered the Christmas letter, right? I'm going to go and do that. So she goes and she delivers the Christmas letter and finds out things that have been happening in Austria, in Vienna. And she is welcomed by the family, and she has a wonderful time exploring Vienna and, just thoroughly enjoying being there. And then something happens and she ends up coming back. But various things happen that, it has a happy ever after it, happy ending anyway. It was absolutely delightful. I loved the way that Helen Roth wrote this. I loved the fact that it was two friends who'd been writing letters since, they came to Britain, and then continued that process. I mean, I love getting snail mail. I have 2 letters actually sitting there that I got this week that I will be replying to. And I just love receiving letters from pen pals. It's just a great joy to me, and always has been. And I just love that somebody has come up with that idea in a book. It was just absolutely delightful. So if you're looking for a book about old friends, about Vienna at Christmas, it sounds absolutely delightful. Vienna at Christmas time, then that is your book, guys. It really is your book, and I hope you'll pick it up. So I've got 3 books in the go. Yeah, I know. 3 books in the go, Fiona. Hello. Really? Seriously? So we have Under the Tuscan Sun by Frances Mays. I'm just using this as my bedtime reading. So I tend to get a chapter read a night, and I am very happy with that. I'm enjoying just taking this one slowly and appreciating the writing and the descriptions of what they're finding in Bramisol, how they're refurbishing the house, the changes they are making, etc. The food that she talks about, the food, and it sounds delightful. So I am thoroughly enjoying just having this as a bedtime read. 1 chapter a night is suiting me brilliantly. Then I am reading with Elizabeth from Lizzie Fay Loves Books. This is our next Harmony Harbour read, and it's Sandpiper Shore by Debbie Mason. I haven't read today's chapters yet. I still have them to read. Thoroughly enjoying this one. It's good. It's very different from the previous one. So, which I'm really appreciating. I'm appreciating that that each book is different to the next one, and there's a lot happening in this one. There's family illness. There's stepsisters who are a bit like the wicked stepsisters in Cinderella. There's a woman who thought she was going to be married, but she's not going to be married. So there's an awful lot going on in it, but I am thoroughly enjoying it. We should have this will be finished in the middle of the week, because we do 2 chapters a day. So so I'm really enjoying it, and it's a fun read. And then the third book I have going is, I can't let you see a cover because there isn't a cover. It's called Once Upon a Christmas Carol by Melody Carlson. This is another Christmas, but it's a Christmas Christian fiction. I'm only a couple of chapters in on this. I didn't read much yesterday because we were away. So I'm only a couple of chapters in on it so far. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. There's a lady who was not wanting to spend Christmas in the Bahamas. Flight has been diverted to, is it Michigan? or somewhere near there, because there's obviously snow and everything else like that, and it's like they can't go any further. But she phones her mother because she knows that her aunt lives nearby, but she's never been in touch with her aunt since they were children, since she was a child and stuff like that. I think the aunt and the mother are estranged. So the aunt is like, oh my gosh, yes, come stay, and I'll get so and so to come pick you up. She does, and then on the drive to the farm, the woman and the guy that's picked her up are chatting, and she thinks that he's her cousin, but he's not. And just the way they were chatting, she got that impression. But so it'll be very, very interesting to see how this works out. But I was enjoying it so far. Excuse me, friends. So yes, that's what I am kind of going to be reading over the weekend. And as I say, I'm just kind of happy that yes, there are 3 books, but I'm not having to rush and hash them, which is lovely. Probably the Melody Carlson is probably the one that most likely I will get finished this weekend, and that's fine. The other 2, as I say, the Sandpiper Whale will be finished this week, definitely. And Under Tuscan Sun will get finished when it's finished. That's the joy of just being, just reading one chapter at night. And I'm enjoying that experience. What's interesting, I haven't tabbed it, which I find really interesting. There've been some lovely passages, but I haven't tabbed it. I think because I don't have my tabs on my bookshelves. That's maybe why. I don't know. But yeah, so that's my reading. What are we doing this weekend? Well, we've got no rugby. Yeah, no rugby. So it's going to be there's athletics either. There is tennis. I think there's the US Open, so I might watch that. We don't have to watch sport this weekend. I might do some crafting. I've got a cross-stitch project on the go that I would like to finish. I've got to start the front of my sweater, so I might start crocheting that. So there are things I can do. It's not I'm glued to TV because of sport. No, I'm not. So there are things that I can do, and I have started making a kind of list of books that I would like to read come the autumn. So I may sort of start really looking at that, because I want to have some nice autumnal reads for that season. I've already seen on my YouTube feed that it's like, come decorate with me for autumn, and I'm like, what? It's only the 7th of August. There was one woman who's like, yes, I started in July, and I'm like, why? Summer. I mean, yeah, I know I love Christmas, okay? So much so that one of my friends sent me a video on Facebook Messenger. I actually just got it this morning. So it said, send this to someone you know who will want to know there are only 22 Fridays till Christmas. And I'm like, what? So it's like, yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, I'm being distracted. I've got like the telephone wire that comes into my bedroom. And so far today, I've been visited by 3 little blue tits. And they just sit there and they look at me. And I look at them. And I just enjoy their beauty. Absolutely gorgeous. He's back. Hello. Hello. Oh, he's gorgeous. So yeah, so that's so I've got that to do, and I've got some more bookmarks I want to design and things like that. So yeah, so I've got plenty of things to do that I do not need to be sitting in front of the TV. Also today, I think we're going to harvest some of our tomatoes. We had one was it not yesterday, the day before? Absolutely gorgeous. It tasted as a tomato should taste. Just so lovely. So I think we're going to do that today as well, which would be nice. But that's it for this video. Please come chat with me down in the comments. Have you read any of the books that I have mentioned. I would love to know. If you have read them, what did you think of them? No spoilers, please, unless I've finished them. I'd love to know. What are your plans for the weekend? What are you reading, or what have you been reading? I would absolutely love to know that. On your way down to chat with me in the comments, if you haven't already, please hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video. And also, if you haven't, could you please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell? It just helps my channel keep growing. It doesn't cost you anything. It just helps my channel keep growing, and that is a delight to me. I'm thoroughly enjoying my time here on YouTube and making new friends and chatting with people in the comments. It's great fun. But that's it for this video, friends. Whatever you do, have a great weekend, but stay safe and happy reading. Bye!